Ever. Like a streamer literally sat in a corner for 15 fucking minutes. It's real boring. Right, where do you want to go?
I don't know. You pick.
Here?
Okay.
Let's do it. Yeah, we have people contesting us, so... I actually tried playing squads yesterday with randoms. Every time I was just solo against squads.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going. So there's no one. It's just people next to the road over there. Was that at you?
Nope.
Shit.
I'm safe.
So there's people quite close to us, isn't it? That you running. Okay. Should I shoot the tires of that car to the east? I've seen people landing there.
Maybe.
Ah, fuck. Ah, I just looked the other way and they took the car. Stopped. Shit. I literally asked you, then I looked through the other window, then back to that one, and they're driving like, fuck. Fuck are they? Car coming? Ah, they're driving away. They're fighting. They all dead? Yep. They're in a hangar. I shot their tires. They have a buggy. They don't have cars. Looted over here. Do you wanna push them?
Maybe.
Fuck it, let's just do it. Do you see him? Oh
55.
yeah, I see him. Okay. Headshot at one. Fuck. One's going to the left. Are they both in the hangars?
I don't know.
No, doesn't look like it. Tagged him again. Shit. Shitty position. Knocked.
Nice.
On my marker. Knocked. I guess you can you'll be able to push through. If anything. Yeah, he's running to rest his body. We can go.
Okay.
heals. Shit. I tagged them a couple of times. Need to heal up. Tagged him once.
Nice. Whew. Behind.
Oh shit.
Fuck.
I have no heals. Shit. I guess I'm fucked. Oh, you're breathing really loudly into the microphone.
Sorry.
No problem, no problem. Where is that guy? Yeah. Okay. Where is he? He's not gonna let me go, is he? Fucking lags. Ah! Oh, I see him. Jesus Christ. My game just... really nice. Fuck PUBG. Where is he?
You have buggy behind you.
Yeah, I shot the tires.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Exactly. See, no tires. Well, I guess I'm fucked. Well, he's running to the zone as well. I should have looted everything. Kidding me? These have no heals, bandages, one first aid. Fuck that. Can't believe this shit. I took all of your heals. Ah, no, you have some. Okay. Might survive a bit. Because zone hurts. Did you press to look for the other game? Oh, I pressed it. Still have 2 more. Ah, shit. Uh, damn. Wanna do pub duo while we wait? Let's go. Ooh, we have a match.
sorry, but I don't need your help.
Yes, you do, motherfucker. You do need my help, sir. Can't you see that, you son of a bitch?
Could you please just let me check out my groceries?
Fuck you, I'm trying to help you, motherfucker.
Wow, this is...
You gotta ask Jesus Christ.
I
We're
don't
all
have
sinners.
to do anything.
We're all sinners.
Okay.
He's not gonna force you to do it.
You're sinning right now.
No, I'm not, motherfucker. You fucking accuser. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking accuser. You motherfucking accuser. Get the fuck out of here.
Wow.
You motherfucking accuser. Accuser of the fucking brethren, you motherfucker. Yes, ma'am. I'm kids. Could you do it for Tom?
I just want to get some groceries and go home.
Accuser, motherfucker.
And you are too, bitch. If you don't have Jesus Christ as your savior, you're gonna be down there fucking with them, screaming in holy fucking terror, fucking fire and brimstone. Do you fucking get it?
It's not the way to do it.
So, shall we go our standard spot? Go there, then there,
Okay.
there, and on top of the hill, like this. We seem to get to like a second or third place when we go there. Have you noticed?
Yep. It's a good spot.
Yeah, not that many people usually land there as well. But I guess we have one squad going with us. Do you wanna fight them or should we just go further?
We can fight,
Okay.
I think.
Was that you getting a gun?
Yep.
Where's the other guy? Oh my god damn it!
Fuck.
I didn't hear
Sorry.
him. I thought it was you running around. Shit.
Start a new one.
Yeah. God damn it.
Oh, lolololo.
You're just going to fight.
Neću da mi boti neko ti čuju.
Just wait till he climbs up. Oh! He was always standing there. God damn. Okay, I'll go for a smoke real quick. Back in a sec. Hello, Yaramir. Yeah, good. Yeah, it's alright. It's alright.
Ma samo GLL. Tu i tank koji random bacim ovako usput.
Hello, Moja. Moja. Moja, you. خفنا. Man. Moja. Man. You alive and no. Man. Man. Why you bullet me? Man. Man, why you bullet? Why you bullet me? Why you bullet me? Why you bullet me? Why? Drink it, wait. Let's go. Ooh, 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 ooh. Я хочу улететь в Париж. Я
Okay. Well, that's interesting then. Okay, sorry. It's work.
Okay.
So I'm ready. Do you have any good scope?
Nope.
I only have X3. Okay, I'm driving to you.
One team on me.
Okay. Should I drive to you or try to flank them?
You can flank.
Okay, I'll go here. On the other hand, I won't be able to do much with 3 times. Maybe I'll just crash this building. There's no one there, right? They're just in the big one.
Where? Where?
Where are marked?
No, it's safe.
Oh, what the f- car? Where's this other team?
On Mark. Mark.
Okay. Oh shit, the guy's watching me. Oh. On the church. Did they kill those guys in the cars?
I don't know.
Didn't see.
Maybe.
What do you want to do? It's fucking open. Getting shot from the other side. Do you want to push the guys in the church?
Not really.
Just stay here. Yeah, they're in those compounds. I don't know. It's a bit too open.
Yep.
didn't like it.
Oof.
Oh well. Guess we need to go push. No, we can drive. Do you see someone? Let's go around them. Or on the road. Oh, car, stop.
Fuck.
Ah!
Bad luck.
Hmm. Shit. Wanna do duo? Well, wait.
Nope.
I'll jump out solo.
Be right back.
Go.
Get the fuck away from me, you piece of shit! Get a fucking away from me! You're in my personal space, bitch! Get out of my fucking personal space! You came over to me, motherfucker! I didn't come over to you! Fuck you! Shut the fuck up! You all better repent! Because the kingdom of heaven is at hand! Shut the fuck up, bitch! Shut your fucking mouth, bitch! You don't have Jesus Christ in your heart. I feel fucking sorry.
Okay, let's go put chicken. Ah! Esto no sabor Lucas. Very nice. Sultinga stuff. Būtų gerai šalmas. Ask when you shall receive. Ah! Double tap.
Fuck you! I never brush my fucking teeth! Don't you fucking know that? Don't you know that by now? Fuck you! Shut the fuck up! You look like a fucking gnat! Get the fuck away from me! You fucking gnat! Get the fuck out of here, I told you! I don't give a shit! They're gonna fucking... I don't give a shit! You can lock me up in a fucking prison!
Bitch! Shut up, Agam! Bitch! Lo 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 lo. Fuck. Just starting. 2 minutes. I remember that shit. Either drive-by or suicide with car. Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, it's cool, bro. I'm in.
Life without fucking parole! And I'll be better off than any one of you motherfuckers! Shut the fuck up! Fuck you, sir! Shut the fuck! Are you that fucking dumb? These people are going to hell. Stand up.
Dude, you're good, man. I got like 5 minutes of this.
That shit was at the other end too, doing the same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
So. So, where to now?
Deer. Ok. Dođem sad.
Okay. Let's do that. Which place are you in leaderboards?
I'm 65.
Oh, not bad. Ah, yeah, I see. It's a shame we don't have a squad we could play with. you know.
Yep.
If we had 2 more people, it would be quite easy, you know, getting to this place, like in duos and then in squads at the same time, you know. Did you see the McGregor fight?
Nope.
McGregor versus Cerrone. That was short fight. Jeez.
Who won?
McGregor. That was short fight. It's really, really short. Like in 40 seconds he TKO'd Cerrone. Damn. Okay.
One team.
Landing in the same spot. No.
Hello, mate.
They next to you?
Yep. No. Huh. GG.
Oh well. I shouldn't have landed into that house. Like no loot over there. Bullshit.
Тут. Значит, в этом, да. Что? Вейс.
На нахуй. Закастовал, you know?
А почему окно разбилось? Почему?
Парни, дайте эмку, пожалуйста.
motherfucker. Oh, 3 minutes. Okay. Gosh. La, 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 la. Ooh, wow. "50 seconds." Okay. Did he actually run away? Oh, mistake, where are you at? Mistake! No! I'm not in the game.
Тут. Чувак. Значит, в этом, да. Что? Хаешка. А нет, она в окно.
На нахуй.
Что?
Закастовал, you know?
А почему окно разбилось? Почему?
Парни, дайте эмку, пожалуйста.
Я капец возьму, капец возьму.
Парни,
Знаете, мне со СКС вообще.
где он, блядь? Где он? Ха, Парни, дайте эмку, блядь, мне ты чё, сука? Там что-то стреляет.
Нужны аптечки? Нужны аптечки? У меня
Нет,
6.
у меня 4.
Слушай, еще раз такое дерьмо будет, я просто убью. Ну,
Я смолотал колеса.
что?
А давай бы какие-то, блядь, колеса рынет.
Может, потому что вы пропустить, выйти.
Хаешки скинул, парни, возьмите. Много хаешек скинул. Километр.
Просто меня удивляет, что я еще без...
Okay, let's go pecado тогда. One squad. Okay. See that guy? Okay. šovinų biški trūksta. Pussies. Not even pushing me. What the fuck? Fucking pussy ass bitches.
Hello, Mojo.
Hello, hello.
Maybe go play Galildo.
I'm currently playing JLL Duo.
Maybe my friend going to play squad?
Yeah, we could do.
Давай мой друг зайдет и пойдем в склад.
Okay, just.
Моджи.
Yeah, I'm playing JLL Duo right now.
Может мой друг зайдет и пойдем паблик четвером?
Нет, я JLL только.
А ты с кем JLLD играешь?
С Mistake.
Это девочка?
Не. Видишь, кто в Дискорде есть, да?
А, я вижу, я понял. Хорошо, давай.
Блядь. Motherfuckers. Yeah. And some more. Fucking far away, man. It's fucking far. Who's that again? Oh, there he is. Oh boy. Nice, 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 very nice. Oh well. Ajde mi prikura. game here.
What's going on, everybody? This is Mega Ran. Very proud of your inbox, Mega Ran. Shout out to everybody that's already down with the Patreon, and you could be one of those as some special bonus.
I've seen The Witcher. I have not only laid eyes on the man, but I have spent time with him. That's right. I rode with him, myself, my two friends, and we will tell you the tale. I saw him with my own two eyes. They cut a monster down twice his size. So let me tell you about what I've learned and paint you a picture of the Witcher. You ain't heard of Geralt or Rivia, let me in there. The reason that monsters be living in fear. You better be scared, the Witcher in here. The fright got him turning white like they rendered his hair. After harsh experiments for many a years, death in the air. Evil, the lesser the pair, but he refused to choose, so the British prepared. At the tavern to get him a beer. Met Ren.
Despite getting mixed reviews from critics, Netflix have a hit thanks to their adaptation of The Witcher. The series, which stars Henry Cavill as a mutant monster hunter, has jumped to being one of the most popular shows on television right now, competing in the same league as Baby Yoda. With all the monsters, timelines, and characters, there's a good chance you missed something. And we found some cool little bits that you likely didn't catch on your first watch through on the series. So toss some coin to your Witcher and strap in for this video. Naturally, there will be spoilers for the first season of The Witcher in this video, so you've been warned.
Just give me an ale and consider your debt paid.
In the first episode, fans may have noticed that Geralt of Rivia doesn't exactly speak much. This is something of a departure from the novels, which saw The Witcher actually being a bit of a chatterbox. Despite this, Geralt does get one chatty scene in the episode, The Lesser Evil, where he tells Roach about his first time claiming a life. The story is taken straight out of the book. Only on the pages of the novel, he doesn't tell the story to Roach. Instead, when you're reading it, Geralt tells it to a priestess named Iona during the Voice of Reason short story. We like that Geralt spends some time confiding in Roach, as the horse is one of Geralt's most trusted and loyal companions on the lonely road. This could be a fun little passing comment during the first episode, or it's a sign of things to come in later seasons of the show. Showrunner Lauren Schmidt-Hissrich stated that she has a plan of 7 seasons for The Witcher, and this line could be an indicator of the finale or of events later on in the book series. While at a banquet in the first episode, Iced informs Queen Calanthe that he's seen the Wraiths of Morhood, better known as the Wild Hunt. The Hunt were the primary antagonists of the video game The Witcher 3, and are a group of elves who eventually set their sights on Ciri. Could this line be a little clue as to where this show will eventually be headed? Regardless, it's a cool and easy to miss moment. The show seemingly loves passing comments, and unless you're up to date with the games or books, you may find yourself a little lost as to what everyone is talking about. For instance, Geralt mentions both Kaer Morhen and Vesemir in the first episode of the show. Who or what these are remain unanswered to the uninitiated, but that's why you have us. Kaer Morhen is the castle that doubles as the Witcher training school. The headmaster, if you will, is the Master Witcher himself, Vesemir, a role that fans want Mark Hamill to pursue. One thing that's not particularly clear when you first sit down to watch The Witcher is that all of the different character segments take place at different times, sometimes separated by many years. But if you're paying attention and can remember character names, you may catch some of the hints that reveal this fact. In the first episode, Renfri tells Geralt about Queen Calanthe's recent victory at the Battle of Hochbuz. But during Ciri's timeline, the queen is well into her reign. In the same episode, Ice tells Calanthe that the banquet reminds him of the betrothal feast, which we later get to see in the 4th episode. Musak tells Ciri about girls that used to be imprisoned in towers, something that Stegobor tells Geralt about, as if it's still common practice. A few times in the series, someone might make a reference to the fact that they follow the White Flame, as they talk about their devotion to Nilf.
Yo, Mistake. Where are you at? Mistake? Hello?
Nilfgaard. On its own, this may seem inconsequential, but the White Flame is actually a reference to the Emperor of Nilfgaard, Emhyr var Emreis. His name in Elvish means the White Flame dancing in the burrows of his enemies, because subtlety is for suckers. In The Witcher 3, Emreis is actually voiced by Charles Dance, who is perhaps best known lately as Tywin Lannister from Game of Thrones. It could be a fun callback to the games if they could get Charles Dance to come back to the role on the small screen, thanks to the de-aging technology used in Netflix's The Irishman. Sometimes an adaptation has to change things in order for it to translate better on screen. We're sure fans of the books are debating if this change was better, but for those who didn't read the novels, will have missed that the showdown in Blaviken was changed. In the novel, Geralt is forced to take on Renfri's men after he learns they are about to start taking hostages in order to lure Stregobor down to the town. In the show, Geralt is confronted right away by the thugs who give him little option other than taking them out in a brilliant display of swordsmanship. Renfri does eventually take one person hostage, but more as a shield against Geralt than luring the wizard down. You may have noticed that despite not being a wizard or sorcerer, Geralt can pull off some magical spells as well. These spells are known as signs, and despite being magical, are considered to be a lesser form of magic. There are 5 major signs the Witcher can use, in both the novels and the games. We can see Geralt use Ard a lot, the spell that uses a telekinetic force to push people back. He uses Yarden in episode 3 against Striga, and uses Axii against Renfri in episode 1. We've yet to see him use the 2 other common signs, including Quen, which creates a force field to protect himself, and Igni, which unleashes flames from his hands. It may not seem it at first glance, but the inclusion of Geralt of Rivia taking a bath is a very amusing tie into the behemoth video game, The Witcher 3. In that game, Geralt's bathtub scene became a meme, with outlets like PC Gamer using it similarly to a Rickroll in some of their articles. It's not often the male form gets recognition in games, so to see Geralt become so immortalized this way is amusing for many. The joke became so popular that Lauren Hisrich knew fans would be vexed if there wasn't a tub Geralt moment in the show, so such a scene was put in with the meme in mind. Were you watching The Witcher and wondering to yourself, what in the name of the continent is the conjunction of the spheres? The term is mentioned quite a few times in the show, but the term is never really properly explained to newcomers, which may have put some people off. So here's the SparksNote version. The conjunction of spheres was a major event in the history of the world of The Witcher. It's when multiple realities converged into the world of The Witcher, resulting in chaos, magic, monsters, and most interestingly, humans to be introduced into that reality for the first time. This is why the elves see humans as an invading force, because the elves are actually the ones that are native to the continent. There's another magical property that is seemingly brought up in The Witcher yet never fully explained. Perhaps the writers wanted fans to do their own research, or found exposition wasn't working in their favor. But we're sure that people would like a direct answer when it comes to Dimiterium. We get to see it in the 8th episode, and Yennefer is threatened with it in the 5th episode. It's a special metal that puts a harness on magical powers. It's not exactly clear why this metal blocks magic, but the effects of it on a sorcerer looks like one is having an allergic reaction, and in general seems quite unpleasant. In the games, you can craft items made of it to use against magically adept foes. You know how they say toss a coin to your Witcher? Well, how about you instead toss a subscribe to us, and ring the little bell thing if you don't mind. Also, if you're watching on smells of lilac and gooseberries. This is a very specific smell and one of the biggest identifiers for Yennefer in the books and games. In The Witcher 3, Geralt is searching for Yennefer and asks if people have seen a raven-haired woman who smells of lilac and gooseberries in the opening hours of the game in a quest that's called, yep, you guessed it, lilacs and gooseberries. The smell becomes so important to Geralt that that's how he describes Yennefer to his friends and allies. The smell would eventually become a major part of the chorus of the song, The Wolven Storm, during that 3rd game. Despite being introduced as Jaskier in the show, this character has an interesting relationship with his names in the translations. In the show's 6th episode, Jaskier introduces himself as Julian Alfred Pancratz, and is unceremoniously cut off before he can add his title to his name, the Viscount de Lettenhove. Despite being a traveling bard, Jaskier, which literally means buttercup in English, is of noble birth. He went to university at Oxenfurt and was actually a professor for a year. In the Western novels and the video games, the name Jaskier is changed to Dandelion. And this is how many fans likely know the character. In Polish, a jaskier is a name for a pretty yellow flower, and when it came time to translate, the name Dandelion was given. In most premium shows these days, there is an elaborate and visually striking opening credit sequence. The Witcher, however, doesn't have long-winded and elaborate openings. That being said, there is an opening theme called Geralt of Rivia. What's interesting here is that there are 8 versions of the song, one for each episode. The tempo changes, or perhaps the style of vocal work to best reflect the tone and mood for the forthcoming episode. Heck, sometimes the song doesn't even show up if there is no reason for the track to play in relation to the narrative. The symbols in the opening also give us clues to what will transpire in each episode. With the advent of The Witcher on Netflix, many people are being introduced to Geralt for the first time, despite being adapted from a successful book series and a video game adaptation. But Netflix's show isn't the only time that Geralt has been adapted into live action, and the Netflix show was sure to honor the Polish series The Hexer, despite it being a critical failure. The series would eventually get edited down into a film, which didn't do it any favors, but for many in Poland, there's only one live-action Geralt. So Netflix actually got the original Geralt actor, Michael Zabrowski, to do the Polish dub for the show, playing Geralt, the character he played nearly 20 years ago. Perhaps you're one of the few people who have studied linguistics and already picked up on this, but for most people they likely thought the Elderspeak, or Elvish, was just a bunch of gibberish spoken for the show. In fact, the Elderspeak is made up of a bunch of languages from our reality, including English, German, Welsh, and Latin. To help bring the language to life for the show, as it was only written down as a few sentences here or there in the books, Netflix brought on David J. Peterson to help create the language's sound and flow. Peterson is the man responsible for shaping the Dothraki and Valyrian languages of Game of Thrones, and we all know how convincing those languages sounded. As you know by now, The Witcher show on Netflix is an adaptation of the novels by Andrzej Sapkowski, and not the popular video games by CD Projekt Red. However, without the games, there may not be a show on Netflix, and that's thanks to Tomek Baginski and Platige Image. Baginski is an executive producer on the show, and Platige is one of the production companies involved.
We're going... Let's go по дорогим ресурсам, короче, oh well.
The two entities actually worked on the video games, creating amazing CG cinematics. Baginski is the one who pitched a Witcher movie to Netflix thanks to his involvement animating those scenes. Impressed with his pitch, they convinced him a show would be a better road to take, and here we are now. When it comes to stunts on a big budget production, there are often stunt doubles involved. This is due to a combination of factors, one being the talent may not be grasping the choreography in a convincing manner, or the stunts are deemed too dangerous and can jeopardize the production. Despite this, Hisrich revealed that Henry Cavill did all of his own stunts for the show. That makes the whole Blaviken sword fight scene that much more impressive. Talk about commitment to a role. Did you watch the 4th episode of The Witcher and wonder what the heck the Law of Surprise was? In the episode, Queen Calanthe has arranged for Pavetta to be married, but things get crazy when the knight Duny arrives and invokes the Law of Surprise, claiming Pavetta as his own by this law. See, Duny saved King Rognir's life many years ago, and he chose the Law of Surprise as payment for that deed, claiming the hand of Pavetta under this most sacred custom, which has roots in Polish and Slavic medieval culture. Geralt and many others at the court fight to defend the sacred Law of Surprise, even if it's something the queen doesn't exactly want. Thankfully, Duny and Pavetta were in love before this, and Duny wasn't simply trying to claim her against her will. That would have been creepy. Of course, the Law of Surprise with Duny and Pavetta has unforeseen consequences in the life of Geralt of Rivia. In the 4th episode, Geralt kind of jokes that Duny should pay him back in the form of the Law of Surprise, as this was a common way to get new Witcher recruits. But this is where destiny and fate get changed, thanks to a passing comment. See, Pavetta is already pregnant with Ciri at this point. which makes her the child of surprise. While Geralt doesn't take on the law of surprise, he did help set in motion a change of destiny and indirectly ensured Ciri would come into the picture, which would forever change his life in the years to come. Despite being based on the novels, The Witcher on Netflix has come up with its own narrative beats that you may be clueless of if you've never dabbled in the source material. For instance, actually getting to witness Yennefer's origins is something new to the franchise, as it was only hinted at and implied in the books. Likewise, the monster known as the Selkimor that Geralt describes has never been mentioned in the books or the games before. If we can see Yennefer's early days of magical training, here's hoping that we might one day see what that monster looks like. There's a lot of world building and exposition that's given to the audience in passing comments, meaning that unless you're really paying attention and can catch on quickly, you're likely missing out on a lot of the subtext of the show. An example of this is when the sacking of Kaer Morhen is mentioned. As we talked about earlier, this is the ancestral home base and school for Witchers. When it was attacked and sacked many years prior, the Witchers became a much more elusive, secretive, and reclusive group, and as evident by Geralt's mannerisms, they reinforce that image and stereotype themselves to help drive a bargain. Here's hoping we can see Kaer Morhen at some point in the show's future. It was definitely one of the most visually striking places in The Witcher 3. Even if you've read the books, there is a chance that you miss this detail, which was changed in the show. The change in question comes when Ciri is on the run and drinks the waters in the forest of Brokilon. In the show, when Ciri drinks the waters, nothing happens except for the lion cub of Sintra getting a vision of a tree in the desert. In the source material, however, anyone who drinks the waters in the forest will find themselves turning into a dryad, which is one of the two ways a dryad can be created. The question now remains, is Ciri exempt from the sorcery due to her blood, or did the writers just change this aspect of the novels? The Witcher showcases many different types of monsters and creatures, but none of them are as interesting as the Doppler. Unless you know a thing or two about the shape-shifting Dopplers, however, you likely miss that they are pretty different from how they are depicted in the books and the games. In the show, a Doppler is hired by Cahir to do his dirty work, when in the books, Dopplers often shapeshift in order to hide, blend in, or scheme, and don't really meddle in the affairs of humans, as they are often hunted. Not only that, but the Doppler's true form looks different from what's described in the books. The show makes reference to the fact that the Sword of Destiny has two edges, a line that book lovers likely got all giddy over, but went right over the heads of anyone else watching the show. Despite the tie-in material showcasing The Last Wish a lot, Season 1 of the show not only adapts that book, but part of Blood of Elves, Book 1 in the saga, and Sword of Destiny, the second book of short stories. The two edges of the Sword of Destiny, as it's described in the book, is a reference to both Ciri and Geralt. A passing comment during a conversation between Cahir and Fringilla actually has huge importance to the plot of The Witcher, but the show is very casual about its importance so far. In their conversation, the line, "The time of the sword and axe is nigh," is spoken. This is a direct reference to the elvish prophecy of Ithilien. The prophecy basically foretells of a great calamity, which will see the land get destroyed by ice and cold. Time will tell how the prophecy will affect the series, if at all. And those are all the cool things you likely missed and didn't know about Netflix's The Witcher show. Are you a newcomer to the continent, or have you been on the road since the games or the books? How are you liking the show thus far, and where do you hope Season 2 goes? Let us know in the comments below, and be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in your feed each and every day.
Epic battles, monsters, and songs about penis.
Toss a coin to your Witcher, oh valley of penis.
Season 1 of Netflix's The Witcher is here, and I gotta say, it's better than the last season of Game of Thrones.
Best season ever!
In this video, we're gonna break down The Witcher's ending because, let's face it, even if you've read the books and played the games with hundreds of different characters and jumps in time, it can get a bit confusing. And you're gonna want to stick around till the end of the video, as we'll be going over that mysterious wish Geralt made with the Djinn and how it could affect his relationship with Yennefer and the events of Season 2. So take a relaxing bath and toss a coin to your Witcher, because here we go. The last episode, entitled Much More, is really a continuation of the events that happened all the way back in episode 1. The kingdom of Sintra has been attacked by the southern forces of Nilfgaard, and our hero, Geralt of Rivia, is on the lookout for the young Princess Cirilla. But why is there this giant gap in time from episode 1 to 8? Well, that has to do with the way executive producer and showrunner Lauren Hisrich decided to tell the story. Think of it as following two timelines, the first being set in the past, which follows characters like Geralt and Yennefer and explores their origins. These include stories like the Djinn in the Bottle from the book The Last Wish, or that of Borch the Golden Dragon in The Sword of Destiny. The second timeline occurs in what we could call the Witcher's present day. Queen Calanthe of Cintra loses the battle against Nilfgaard and orders her granddaughter, Princess Cirilla, to seek out the Witcher known as Geralt. That's because Geralt and Ciri are inextricably linked through a custom called the Law of Surprise. Imagine if I saved your life, but you have nothing to repay me with. I can choose to invoke this law, which basically states you have to give me something of yours which you don't yet know. The line used in the book The Last Wish is, "What you find at home yet don't expect." And this is the driving force behind episode 4. We meet this hedgehog-type creature known as Duny, who is actually a human who was cursed by a sorcerer. The enchantment wasn't properly cast, however, and every night Duny would turn back into his human form. One night while prowling the forest, Duny came across the injured king of Cintra, King Ragnar, and saved his life, invoking the Law of Surprise, only for the king to come home and find out his wife was pregnant. The Law of Surprise then stated that the thing he found at home but didn't expect, the child, would then belong to Duny. Fast forward 15 years and Duny has come to Princess Pavida's, or Ciri's mother's, 15th birthday party. He has come to claim Pavida as his bride, but unknown to Calanthe and everyone else at this party, including Geralt and Dandelion, Pavetta and Duny had been secretly seeing each other for the past year. Queen Calanthe doesn't like this at all and orders Duny to be executed, but Geralt steps in to help and Pavetta unleashes her secret power, a power that will later manifest itself in Ciri. When the queen realizes that destiny cannot be fought, she approves of her daughter's arrangement, which ends Duny's curse, turning him back into a human. Duny then thanks Geralt for saving his life, and in an ironic twist, Geralt says Duny can repay him via the Law of Surprise. What Duny doesn't know is that Pavetta is pregnant, therefore Ciri is now linked by destiny to Geralt. Now there's a whole backstory here where Duny and Pavetta are killed in a maelstrom at sea, leaving Ciri with her grandmother. But there is more to that story, and it will undoubtedly come into play next season, but I don't want to get into spoilers. Geralt ends up turning his back on his prize, this child, only for destiny to bring them together.
Yes, I do, but you can't outrun destiny just because you're terrified of it.
But that's exactly what Geralt plans to do. He doesn't give a shit about destiny.
Destiny can go
Peggy 18.
Geralt's character arc this season centers around destiny, going from not believing to it to believing in it.
People linked by destiny will always find each other.
Geralt, a man who continually pushes people away, is forced by destiny to come together with a thing that is arguably his exact opposite, a small, weak girl. But as we've seen hinted through the season, Ciri possesses unimaginable power, just like her mother. It's also terribly ironic that Geralt, a man who is left abandoned as a child, ends up abandoning the child that belongs to him. Episode 8 begins with Geralt fleeing a besieged Cintra after being unable to find Ciri. He actually came here before Nilfgaard's arrival, but was tricked by Queen Calanthe by giving him the wrong child. She'll even attempt to assassinate him later on. But the thing about destiny is that it's not to be trifled with. It must be followed.
honor destiny's wish, or unleash its wrath upon us.
The Queen's refusal to accept destiny will become her downfall, literally. Unable to find Ciri, he ventures home toward Kaer Morhen, the Witcher's stronghold, but is stopped when destiny intervenes, unleashing a group of necrophages and seriously wounding Geralt. It's here he experiences several hallucinations, including one of his mother, Vicina, who left him as a child to be taken in by the Witchers. Speaking of orphans, Ciri is taken in by a local farmer after having passed out last episode when attacked by a group of Cintran refugees. The extent of Ciri's powers are something that will likely be explored next season, but she wakes up to find her attackers mutilated with having no recollection of what happened. Meanwhile, a rogue group of mages have gone against the wishes of the Brotherhood of Sorcerers and have decided to defend Sodden Hill from Nilfgaard. One such mage is Yennefer of Vengerberg. As a child, Yennefer was disowned by her father because of her deformity, later selling her to a sorceress by the name of Tessia, a rectoress at Aretuza, a magical academy for young ladies. Whereas Geralt's character arc this season ties into